Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Come on now, let's do it. I talk a lot on this show about worker cooperatives, about getting out of the oppressive corporate structure. They've done something really smart in New York City. Because, look, in California, we just tried to do this ballot measure, I think it was 22, to force Uber and Lyft to give more rights to their drivers, right? The drivers make all the money. You know what they did in New York? They just started their own driver cooperative. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go into it, and the link is in the show notes, but one of the organizers of this company was a labor organizer, and he said, fighting these companies on a labor is so much. Why don't we just start our own shit? That's what I'm down with. I'm so down with that. I'm here because of that. I had to bang my head around show business for years. Oh, they won't let this, and Comedy Central doesn't want. They're going to pass on you, or you audition, and so pitch this script, and I do whatever I want here. I didn't have to pitch to the network that I want to dress up like Granny Petrol and do this bizarre character or do dairy. I didn't have to pitch that. I just did it. I did it. You guys liked it. I keep doing it. Oh, I want to end my live stream singing as William Shatner as karaoke. Oh, wow. The network's not what? Who? I do whatever I want. You circumvent it. That's why I'm a big advocate for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. It circumvents the central banks. It decentralizes it. This is huge. New York City Drivers Cooperative aims to smash Uber's exploitative model. The city's first worker-owned ride-sharing app gets ready to take on the big boys. This is huge. I want this in LA. I want this in every city in the country, if not the world. Everywhere Uber and Lyft is, I always use Lyft because it's sort of like, it's a little bit better, but I know people that drive for Lyft, they get treated a little bit better, but no, this is what I talk about. Oh, socialism is so bad. No, socialism is actually bringing something. Uber was a whatever they call that, disruptor, right? All you could do is take cabs. And when Uber first came along, I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then Lyft came along. Oh, this is cool. But they're screwing over their drivers. This is what we need to do. And this is direct action. We don't have to wait for, is AOC going to back the new Uber bill? Or will she vote for that? Or I don't know this. Or nope, just start it. The Drivers Cooperative, which aims to realize a long-held dream of socially conscious New Yorkers in a hurry, a ride-sharing app that you can feel good about. When it rolls out to the public early next year, TDC will become New York's first worker-owned ride-sharing platform owned by the drivers themselves. It is what I'm talking about. It's why I love Rockfin, because it's blockchain cryptocurrency. They pay us content creators in a cryptocurrency that they mine, so we're part owners in the platform. We're part owners in the platform. This is what you should do with everything. Its founder's brazen idea is that TDC can actually gain a competitive advantage over Uber and Lyft, saving money and funneling those savings back to drivers. Everyone in New York City, find this app when it comes and download it and get that going. And they don't need to spend a bunch of money on marketing because everyone will jump on board with this. Everyone will get on board with this. And all the drivers will jump over because they're like, oh, we're going to get paid better. Wouldn't you? Anyone out there who's an Uber or Lyft driver, which I know many of you do this. I have friends who do it in LA. A lot of comedians were doing it. I don't know how it's going during the pandemic. I know some people that are still doing it. But I know actors and comedians and stuff that do it in LA because, I can just, between auditions, between gigs, I can just turn my app on and go drive. But it's like hard, man. I have friends like, God, I got to bust my ass for this. They don't get health care. And that's bullshit. Uber especially has billions of dollars. They could pay their employees. They could give these people health care. They could put a cap on it. Like, you got to drive X number of hours a week, minimum 20, 30 hours a week. But come on. And after you figure in gas and oil changes and repairs and amortize all those big repairs like tires and brakes, they're clocking in at $12 an hour. And God forbid your car breaks down or gets in an accident. Oh, man. The way the Uber model is organized, it's extractive. It takes out the money and doesn't give back much. Imagine a company that doesn't have any profits but has created billionaires. Lewis says that money comes from drivers. Oh, if you clocked in that many hours driving, wouldn't you like to say, oh, I mean, that's what a worker cooperative can do. And that's why it'll blow apart all this. Oh, socialism means you're going to be in bread lines driving for Stalin or whatever. Boo. No, you're going to have people. I bet you, watch, I'm going to do a video a year from now. And I bet you I'm going to be doing a story going, there's these drivers in New York going, man, I make 70, 80 grand a year. I make a good living. I can afford my taking care. I'm feeding my family. It's paying for my law school, whatever. You're going to hear these stories like, I'm making really good money. Oh, I made 120 grand last year. I'm an owner. The company had extra profits and they're going to share it with their drivers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Companies that operate in the industry regularly push much of the risk of employment onto the drivers by classifying them as independent contractors. That's how they get around paying you health care and giving you real wages and, you know, all the time they're putting in. You're driving fucking hours a day. Man, you should have health care. You should get massages once a week. You should have a chiropractor. You should have vacation days. You should have all that shit. So Uber's stock portfolio keeps going up. They make billions of dollars. You do all the labor and you get 12, 13 bucks an hour, maybe 15 bucks an hour. People tip you. Maybe you get a plug-in hybrid or something that gets better gas mileage, or you get one of those, Chevy Bolt electric, maybe. Rather, by classifying them as contractors rather than employees. They also push the cost of the job onto the workers, forcing them to pay their own car and maintenance, not to mention things like healthcare benefits. Instead of being paid to work, in other words, ride-sharing apps, like other gig economy companies, make people pay in order to work. Someone come up with a Grubhub version of this. Someone come up with an Instacart version of this. See how we can take their shit and stick it to them? You're out there busting your ass driving for Uber or Lyft or Grubhub or Instacart. You're putting miles on your car. So your car is depreciating the shit out of it. When you try to sell it, it's going to have 80,000 miles on it, not 30,000, because you clocked in all these hours. When you drive, most of the average people drive like 10 to 12,000 miles a year. If you're an Uber driver or whatever, you're clocking in 30, 40, 50,000 miles a year in some cases. So that's all those. You got to buy more oil changes, more fuel, all those repairs. Those like every 20,000 miles put in new. You're doing all that shit that's usually an every 2-year thing. You're doing it every 9 months. Tires, brakes, the whole shot. You get into an accident, you got to pay insurance. It goes against your insurance when you get into an accident. And Uber was great initially because of like, oh, in New York City, the cab drivers, the cab was tough. This is it. Uber cut pay rates while the number of drivers rose, leaving many who had taken out loans to buy cars for their jobs struggling to meet their debt obligations and earn a living. And they give you you get a $2,000 bonus if you clock in this many rides. And it was like, I know people I had to kill myself to get that $2,000 bonus. Yeah, and then you buy a car loan or get a nice fancy car. Well, now you got a car payment and the insurance on that. You have to get extra insurance if you do ride sharing. Yep. Oh, yeah. Extra insurance because they know you're going to be driving more. They know you're more likely to get into an accident. So the car insurance companies take more money from you. And this guy who put this all together, Foreman, who has been through bitter union battles with big companies, realized that for the same amount of effort, workers could probably start their own venture. So when I'm on this show saying, vote with your dollars, I'm talking about supporting a company like this. But I'm also, when I say vote with your dollars and I say grow your own food and do your research on cryptocurrency and invest a little money. If you can, it's just do your own research. Don't risk money you can't afford to lose. But that's why I'm become so big on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because it gets us out of this cycle. This is part of that. Create your own worker cooperative. Are you working somewhere where you're getting screwed over? Create your own, start a union, create your own worker cooperative, whatever. They have so much power. When this thing launches, it's going to go through the roof, man. And just watch. Every city is going to go, we want one. We want one. Chicago, LA, New York, Dallas, Atlanta, Miami. We want one. San Francisco, we want one. Everyone's going to get it. I've taken Lyft and Uber in every city in America. I've taken them in Australia even. The driver's cooperative financial advantage. For one thing, the billions of dollars that Uber has spent on marketing the concept of ride sharing mean that TDC has little need for big ad budgets. Everybody knows it is. Uber had to like overcome this. What's Uber? What's it? Wait, taxi? What is it? We all know what ride sharing is now. Oh, it's a worker-owned cooperative? Fucking socialist Uber? I'm in. Sold. You got to use this one. Everyone go on social media, share about it. Boom. Anyone in New York, the minute this thing starts going, start using it in New York and talk about it on social media. Just get the word out. By summertime, especially if this vaccine works and if things open back up, boom. Uber and Lyft take around a quarter of the money from each trip, some of it to pay for all that marketing. The co-op plans to only take 15%. So now you're going to make more money. And also, if the co-op has any profits left at the end of the year, they will be paid out to drivers as dividends. This is the advantage to worker cooperative. Uber has a big year. The executives get a profit, not the drivers. Lyft has a big year. The board of directors, the CEO, they get bonuses. Hey, driver, you don't. This driver's cooperative, you get that bonus. Imagine, just picture a year from now working for this company. And maybe it's not a huge bonus, but just imagine right now, think about what like $500 would do. The CEO gets to buy a new summer home, or you get every driver gets $500. What would $500 do right now? Right? See that? The Drivers Cooperative is starting a pilot project this month, giving rides to workers for the Bronx-based Cooperative Home Care Associates. Oh, they're helping out frontline workers, it sounds like, in the middle of a pandemic. An example of cross-co-op cooperation. You want to talk about direct action? Just downloading this app and using it when you are in New York City, that alone is massive. That will help this spread across the whole country. And what's going to happen? Uber and Lyft are going to be forced to give their drivers better money and better deals, because every driver is going to go, I'm gone. Every city is going to be like, the minute this comes in my city, I buy Uber, buy Lyft. And it'll be up to us to keep supporting it. When I go back on the road, whatever city has this, I will use it. That's how we make Gotham great again. Worker cooperatives, folks. Thanks for watching the show. Shave your knuckles for justice. Connect the dots for truth. Ba-boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.